Yes, hi, this is Dominic. Just calling. I can't come into work today. My TMJ is really flaring up on me. TMJ. Temporal mandibular joint. It's a real thing. Do you not have Google? What up, friends? Do you guys have dizziness, headaches, jaw pain, neck pain, stiffness, eye pain, clenching your jaw, grinding your teeth at night? Well, those are all symptoms that I suffered with, and today I'm going to talk about treatments, my journey through TMJ, what doctors I saw, misdiagnosis, and different things that have helped me and hopefully can bring some value to you. My journey begins on my 30th birthday when I was in Vegas with my wife, having a beautiful weekend, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, I got super dizzy. Now, I had a couple drinks, so at that time I attributed it to maybe being a little more tipsy or drunk than I really was. But 2 weeks later in the gym, same exact thing happened. Boom, dizzy out of nowhere. Just the whole room started moving. And I remember just feeling like I had maybe a heart problem. I was having a heart attack or blood issues. So getting into this, I went and saw a first doctor. He sent me to a heart specialist. Test came back completely normal, nothing wrong. They sent me to a neurologist. Test came back, nothing wrong. Now, I was having a lot of headaches at this time. I was having headaches almost every single day, really severe migraine, almost tension, like really bad headaches. I was having 4 to 5 a week, sometimes 6 a week. And then sometimes they would be in 3, 4, 5 days in a row. I would get headaches every single day. And so I was having a lot of health issues. I mean, this neurologist said, you probably have chronic headaches, migraines, that's hereditary. You probably have stress and anxiety. And she just really wanted to push me on pills to cover up the anxiety and the stress, when really I didn't think that was the case. And so I was unsatisfied and searched for more opinions. Went to go to another doctor. That doctor said, maybe you have a sinus infection or a viral infection. Put me on antibiotics for about a month. That completely tore up my stomach and just really messed me up more. And the symptoms, they were still there. The next doctor told me I need to get food allergy tested and see if I'm having allergies or an allergic reaction to something. Now, those came back, some were positive. I was having some food allergy stuff going on, but I changed my diet, and guess what? The symptoms still continued. Finally, a random doctor that I was seeing for something else actually said, hey man, with those headaches, I have another patient who actually has TMJ. And it was the first time out of 5 or 6 doctors that I'd even heard the term TMJ. I said, what is that? And he said, temporal mandibular disorder or temporal mandibular joint. And it's when your joint is a little bit messed up, and kind of gave me a generic answer for it and told me I need to go see a dentist. So I thought it's probably something I should explore, but it's probably not what's causing my headaches and dizziness, until I went to beautiful WebMD. Now, WebMD, I usually go on there and find out I have cancer and I have 3 weeks to live, but this time I looked up TMJ and boom, every single symptom of TMJ I was experiencing. And I finally, for the first time, started to feel relief, like maybe this is what is wrong and something that is actually real, when all these doctors have been telling me, stress and all these phantom things, it's probably nothing, it's probably no big deal. Then I start going to these doctors and saying, hey, I think it's TMJ. And here's the thing that bothered me. Once I started believing that I was having TMJ issues and joint issues in my jaw, so many doctors discredit it and kind of downplay it like it's no big deal. And that's where you really need to be your own advocate. And that's where my whole health journey kind of changed, because I saw and I did my research on my own and found that there were so many things that directly correlated to my issues that were in sync with TMJ and people that had temporal mandibular disorders. And then with these doctors to downplay that and kind of just say it's no big deal, and then it's, probably not the issue, or that there's no real treatment for it, you just got to deal with it. Well, that's simply not true. So right now, I'm going to give you the things that helped me and some treatments and places for you to look to help you with your TMJ. So first of all, you really need to research what is TMJ and TMD. I'm going to call it TMJ just for the sake of this video, because that's what it's widely known as, but it's temporal mandibular disorder. It's when the joint in your jaw that connects to your skull is misaligned and firing incorrectly, and can cause aggravation in the muscles and bones and in that joint, and causes so many different issues. The first place to look, I will link below in the description, is tmj.org. It's an association for TMJ and people who suffer from this, and they have a plethora of different information and resources for you to look at. So that's number one. Number two, I would say first on the list is to talk to your dentist. I would go check your bite and check your teeth and your misalignment of your jaw. That is where I ended up at the end, but that actually ended up being my issue. I had to go see an orthodontist, and I had a really messed up bite from overcrowding of my teeth. The teeth had moved around as I gotten older and kind of shifted my bite ever so slightly where I didn't notice it, and it ended up creating a misalignment in my bite. So every time I was talking or chewing, my jaw was opening and closing in a misalignment, and that was causing aggravation and so many issues. If your bite is misaligned and your jaw is misfiring, it can never be at rest because it can never be at a point where it's comfortable and soothing and relaxing to those muscles, even when you sleep. Because if your bite is off, your bite's gonna be off while you sleep and while you close your mouth. So if your jaw and those muscles are never at rest, eventually they're gonna tense up and tighten up and cause all kind of issues. And that's exactly what happened to me. Now, before that, I went and saw the first orthodontist. He was in Southern California here, and the first one right off the bat said, we need to break your jaw and you need to have jaw surgery. You have a misaligned bite, we need to realign that, and the only way to do that is through surgery. And man, was I freaked out. That like really set me back. And I actually see that's common practice in the TMJ industry throughout the spectrum of doctors that do treat TMJ. Surgery is a really common thing. Now, I don't know if that's the right treatment for you. You should talk to your doctor. But for me, I kind of wanted surgery as the last resort after I had tried a number of different things first. I didn't want to break my freaking jaw and have it wired shut for weeks at a time. I have seen people on YouTube that have done that. I'll link some videos below, and it's kind of a crazy journey. So if that is something that you find that you have to do, I would check out some of these videos and just watch their journey, and they can give you some helpful tips. So for me, I actually talked to 3, 4, 5 different orthodontists, and a lot of them didn't really have a lot of information on TMJ, kind of didn't know what they were doing, kind of just said, we need to fix your bite and fix your teeth and just get your teeth straight. And to me, I really wanted someone who was specialized in TMJ or really had a lot of experience in the industry and knew a lot about it. So I went online and started searching, and here in Southern California, there were 2 or 3 doctors that really popped up. I'll link their websites below. So after searching a bunch of different orthodontists and finding someone that I felt was really knowledgeable and had experience with TMJ, I made an appointment. I went to see her. She really educated me and kind of put me at ease that there were some treatments available. The first thing she did on the very first appointment is made me a temporary bite splint, which was kind of just made of plastic. It was a little piece that you put between your teeth and you bite on, and it stays in place, and it kind of keeps your teeth from touching each other. And by doing that, it changes your bite by having a little bit of layer where your teeth touch the layer instead of touching each other. I actually found relief with that right away. In the first 2 or 3 days, I found that actually did take away some of the headaches. I didn't have as many headaches. The frequency went away. The severity of jaw pain went away almost immediately. So it was like, it was like a moment of just relief after years of suffering. After the temporary splint did work, we went into a more permanent treatment, and that's where she made me this. And this is a bite splint. It's made out of plastic and metal with some metal prongs that help you clip onto your teeth. And this is something that you wear all day long. It doesn't fit me any longer because I've been through several treatments since, so this is a little bit old. That's why it's kind of like yellowy and dirty. I don't use it anymore. But it clipped on my top teeth, and it prevented my teeth from closing. It kept my mouth a little bit open at all times. And that really shifted the jaw forward, my lower jaw forward a little bit, so my bite was drastically different from when it was naturally. I wore this, she had me wearing this permanently. So this was kind of a permanent solution for her. This was a day splint. And then at night, I wore this night splint, and this is more of a night guard, and it has some wings on the side, and that prevented my back jaw from sliding back when I'm laying on my back. It actually pushed it forward and kept my jaw into a different position so that my teeth couldn't clench and I wasn't dropping this back jaw back when I'm sleeping. That also did help for about 2 or 3 months once I started this permanent treatment of having these splints in day and night. The headaches really went down in frequency. There were no more dizziness. The headaches went from probably about 4 to 6 per week down to like 2 to 3 per week. So they did go down incrementally. But I did find that after wearing these for about 6 months of wearing this permanent treatment of day and night splints, I found that my neck started stiffening up really, really bad. I woke up one day and I remember thinking, I slept weird on my neck. and I wonder if I just have a stiff neck. And that stiffness kind of never went away while I was on these. Looking back on that, it's because my jaw was pushed so far forward that my neck was constantly, in a different position, and these muscles are all connected to your jaw. So once your jaw is still in a not correct position, it can affect your neck, it can affect your eyes, it can affect the muscles in the side of your head, and that's what happened to me. So after being on bite splints for about a year and really not getting the overall results that I wanted, I still wasn't happy. I still was having some symptoms, although not as bad as they were before. I decided to go with an even more permanent, the next step in the treatment, which is actually changing your bite, orthodontics. Now that can be Invisalign, it can be braces, it can be, some people go real extreme and pull your teeth and put fake teeth in to have veneers and change your bite completely, or surgery and changing your jaw. For me, I went with Invisalign for a number of different reasons. Number one, the doctor that I saw for the orthodontics, I'll link his website below. He is outstanding. He is a specialist in TMJ and TMD. His dad was actually a pioneer in this industry, and I highly recommend you guys check him out or his offices if you're in Southern California. But for me, Invisalign was another layer that could keep between your teeth, so my bite would be shifted a little bit throughout the process. Whereas if you have braces, your teeth are touching all the time, so you kind of go back to your old bite, and you could flare up and have more issues again. So I chose to go with Invisalign, and it's actually been really, really great for me. I've been on Invisalign now for about 2.5 years. I've had revision after revision after revision because I had so many issues. And throughout the Invisalign process, I was actually super scared going into it that I would revert back to my old bite and have all these issues again. But it's actually been really great. My symptoms have subsided even more and even more as my treatment has gone on. My bite has changed so much. And now that my teeth are so much different and straight, I can look back and feel the difference between my bite and feel how drastic my bite has changed. And so my overarching theme throughout this is make sure that you guys get your teeth looked at. Make sure you have good orthodontists. Make sure you fix your bite. That could be the number one issue with your TMJ. And so many people have TMJ problems because their bite and their teeth get really messed up. Invisalign aside, that was the treatment that really worked for me. I also went through physical therapy. There were so many different exercises that they gave me, stretches, strengthening exercises. And I got really big into it, and it really helped a lot. A lot of the stiffness in my neck and shoulders, when that stiffness would get really bad, that would trigger the headaches. So to combat that, I was constantly doing neck exercises and stretching, and I still do them to this day. I'll link some Instagram accounts and some stretching exercises and those sort of things in the description below of physical therapists that are just really, really great, that give out really good information that I found really helpful. You could start those right away, right now, and those may be able to give you some relief at home without even seeing a physical therapist. But I highly recommend, as you go through this process, like I did, I went to probably about 20 to 30 sessions of a physical therapist, and she helped me with so many things that I didn't even know were issues, like range of motion, flexibility, tightness in my chest, lack of back strength, and all that was causing poor posture, which was aggravating the TMJ and neck issues even more because I sit like a gremlin. I don't know why I made that noise. That could be a gremlin noise. But anyway, it helped me open up, get your shoulders back, loosen up your chest, and really just focus on weakness and issues that I had that were causing even more issues and headaches. So that was a huge plus for me. I highly recommend that. Another treatment I really recommend that really, really helped me was going to see an upper cervical chiropractor. Now, I know chiropractors kind of get a bad rap, and it's that like new age medicine, that kind of thing. But trust me when I tell you, seeing a chiropractor when you have TMJ issues can be super helpful. I actually got a recommendation from a physical therapist at the PT. Another patient who was suffering from TMJ said, you got to go see this guy. I'll link him below in the description as well. But I went to go see him, and he's an upper cervical specialist. It's not just a normal chiropractor where they crack your neck and do that normal thing and send you on your way. This guy takes x-rays, finds out exactly the misalignment of your top cervical bone, and make sure that's in alignment and straight and get you to where you need to be. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but my headaches at that time were probably like 2 to 3 a week. I was getting some dizziness here and there, but overall I was getting a lot of jaw stiffness and pain and neck stiffness, and going to see this chiropractor really helped with that. That dropped me down to about 1 headache a week, no more dizziness. Anytime I get a really bad headache, I'll go see him, and he just gets me right into alignment. And I just notice symptoms right away. I don't notice a feeling of difference. Like I can't feel if the bone is in alignment or not in alignment. Like, I don't know. But I do know when I see him, my symptoms get better. I have less jaw pain, less stiffness in my neck. I can move better. I have better flexibility and overall less headache. And getting rid of your symptoms and your pain is the overarching goal. So I say give it a shot. If you have one of these upper cervical specialists in your area, I highly recommend going to see them. I'll give you the link below. It's a NUCA doctor. That's what he is. I'll give you their main website, and I think you could search for different doctors in your area. So hopefully that helps you out there. So the treatments that I explored were, first of all, orthodontics, getting my bite right, seeing a physical therapist, stretching and getting strengthening in my neck and jaw muscles and back muscles and opening up the tension, getting rid of that, fixing my posture, making sure, I'm mindful of my weaknesses and where I, tend to be like a gremlin, me, and then going to see an upper cervical chiropractor. Those 4 things really helped, guys. It really, really did. It made my quality of life just so much better and reduced my symptoms drastically. So I highly recommend you check those out. Now I want to talk about home treatments that I did myself, just because I'm, always looking for different ways to feel better now and different things that I did at home. So these are some products and some things that I found that really helped me. Number 1 is I started following on Instagram all these accounts of physical therapists and chiropractors and different people that are constantly putting out good content to help you with exercises and treatments and home stretching. So I'll link those below. Those are really cool. Those really help me out. I do a lot of those. I have a little daily routine that I try to do before bed and right when I wake up in the morning to really loosen me up. But another thing, this little pillow gadget thing, it's really cool. It's like this, it's called ProSource Fit, but it's basically a pillow with different spiky things all over it. And what you do is you put it behind your neck and you lay on it for like 15 to 20 minutes. And it's supposed to be like reflexology. I don't know the right term for it, but these spikes are supposed to dig into your muscles, get the blood flowing and help relax the muscles and relax and get rid of the tension in your neck. They also have a pad for your back that I have, but I left it at home. I'm in my studio, but it comes as a set. It's like 15 or 20 bucks. I freaking love this thing. I use it for like 15 to 20 minutes a day, especially when I feel a headache or stiffness coming on, and it really helps. I notice a difference right away when I sit up, when I get done with it. I just feel less tension. I feel a lot of blood flow. It's kind of weird. It's hard to explain, but these are really sharp little spiky things and they just feel really good. This thing's freaking awesome. So I highly recommend this. I also recommend this little cream. This little cream is a freaking lifesaver. It's called Tiger Balm. I just found it in my local grocery store. They have different strengths. They have like a red one, but I like the yellow one. I put it on my neck at night. I'll put it on my jaw sometimes when the stiffens up, the muscles are stiff, and it really just helps. It kind of feels weird. It's like an icy hot, but on steroids. It's an ancient Chinese pain relieving ointment. I freaking love it. I highly recommend this. If you guys aren't getting headaches, if you're having back stiffness or leg pain, or you roll an ankle or something, this helps the blood flow and stimulation. It feels really tingly, like it's a weird sensation, but I freaking love this stuff. It is strong, so use it sparingly when you try it. And sometimes it can irritate people's skins, but I freaking love this stuff. It's also a must buy. I'll link it below. Up next is a weird product that I found on Amazon. Again, it's a Chinese product. These things are freaking weird, but they're amazing. So it's this little neck unit. You put it around your neck and it's got these 2 metal pads on the back. And those metal pads send electrostimulation into the back of your neck and they fire your muscles in your neck. They also create heat. So these sides are heated and the back 2 pads are heated. So it's a nice hot sensation on your neck. The heat's supposed to like relieve the muscles. And then the electrostim is supposed to fire those muscles and it's a pain relieving. If you look up electrostimulation, you'll see all the stuff about how it's pain relieving. But I love this thing too. I'll put it on for like 20, 30 minutes at night. I'll crank it up. I'll kind of lay in bed before bed with it. And it just relieves the pain, relieves the stress if my neck and jaw is really, painful for that day or really stiff. So I actually really like this thing. I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks. Also, like, this kind of crap, I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff. This is just me trying to help you guys out, because I remember when I was looking, for TMJ relief, all I saw was a couple like stupid exercises that didn't really help. And it was like, put a hot compress on your neck. Like, no, hopefully crap like this will really bring you some actual relief. Like, this stuff actually works for me. So I highly recommend it. Another thing you can do, and I'm not going to show the label to this, but this is my little happy cream. Now this I found at a local health center, and it has some special flowers in it. But this is a CBD type cream. It's a little bit stronger, if you know what I mean, but it's just an ointment that you put on your neck or you put on sore muscles, and it really helps with pain relief. It helps with stiffness. It really loosens me up. So this is something I would check out if you guys are having headaches and you're having issues and you don't want to go the pain reliever, route where you're just taking Advil and Tylenol all the time. This stuff can really do wonders, as can some other pain relief, some natural organic pain relief methods. But this is something that I recommend because it doesn't have, any high side effects. You don't get high from this at all. You don't feel anything. You just put it on and you feel relief in your muscles. So I highly recommend something like this. The other thing I can't recommend enough is going to see a physical therapist that has experience with TMJ. They do these exercises and pain relieving muscles stuff where they stick their actual fingers inside your mouth. They grip the muscles around your jaw and basically pinch the hell out of them. And they move their fingers around to kind of like massage it and manipulate it. And by palpating those that's some pre-med terms coming out. That's back in the day. By palpating those muscles and really massaging them and working them out, it kind of gets them some relief and getting them to not be in constant tension. And that's the whole goal. I highly recommend that. I did that about once or twice a week when it was really, really bad, and it did help. I really did notice relief when I left the place. Now, it didn't last. It's not something that's kind of a long-lasting thing because, you don't always have people sticking their fingers in your mouth at home, but it's something that you can do on your own if you learn the technique. So I highly recommend going to a good physical therapist and learning how to do that. I also found relief from massages. I would get massages pretty frequently. I would try to relieve my upper shoulder and neck tension, and a massage can really do that. I also found a Theragun. I don't have it on me today, but I have a Theragun at home. I'll link those below too. Those are really expensive. They're like $300 or $250 or $300. So it's kind of a big investment, but a Theragun is basically a deep tissue massage that you can do at home. It's called percussion massage. I found that really good for shoulder and back pain and the tension in there that comes with TMJ. So as having those issues, the Theragun can really help with that. But I did find it aggravating when I would do any type of stuff with my jaw. So if I was using a Theragun on my face muscles or my jaw muscles, I actually noticed an inverse reaction where like the next day it was like super tight. So I don't know if it's just too much for that. It's too stimulating or too strong for those muscles, but I don't recommend it for those muscles, but I do recommend it for the rest of the body and pain relief and recovery. In closing, I want to say if you are suffering from TMJ, the things I would look out for are misdiagnosis. A lot of doctors don't know what they're talking about. They misdiagnose the symptoms as other illnesses, and I would be really weary of that. So if you do think you have TMJ, look up the symptoms, go online, do your research, and then talk to doctors that have experience with TMJ. I can't overemphasize this enough because I wasted about 6 months to a year of my life and had so many pills thrown down my throat on things that weren't even wrong with me because the doctors didn't know that it was TMJ. Another thing I can say is if you don't have bite issues, if your teeth are perfectly straight and you don't think you have bite issues, you can be having other issues that can be causing this. A couple doctors that I know said that sleep apnea, clenching your teeth at night, sleeping issues can cause TMJ. Also, chewing gum heavily constantly can cause TMJ problems, or an injury, like if you ever got punched in the face or got in an accident where your jaw or your face got injured, that can cause TMJ issues as well. So those are things to, just be mindful of. If you're searching for answers, those could have caused this issues for you. I am kind of on the other side of the hill. Now I get a headache maybe once a week or once every other week, 3 or 4 times a month. I feel great. I'm kind of back to my normal self. I do have a lot of neck stiffness still, but I kind of attribute that to editing and doing these freaking videos and working office work and poor posture and some of those things. So I'm starting to work through that. But as far as jaw pain and stiffness in my jaw and the headaches that I used to have and dizziness, those are all gone. So there are symptoms, there are cures, there are ways where you can fix this issue. So really be optimistic. Never stop searching for things that help you. I think that's my biggest piece of advice through all this. It's really discouraging. A lot of doctors kind of give you the runaround and don't really help. And so you have to just keep searching, keep pounding the pavement, and keep looking for different things that can help you, such as the things that I gave you today, but also different doctors. I personally found it valuable online to join different TMJ groups. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's all these different things that you can look into. But a lot of people found relief with different things like yoga and meditation and what are the things you put the needles in you? Oh my God, what is it called? Acupuncture. People found a lot of relief with acupuncture. So if you can see an acupuncturist that has experience in this, that might help you. Another thing that really helps me is Epsom salt baths. If you guys don't know what Epsom salt is, I'll link it below, but it's a type of salt that is supposed to relax your muscles. Now, I've read the packaging and the fine print here, and you have to soak in Epsom salt in hot water for a minimum of 20 minutes. And on my packaging, it says like a cup of Epsom salt for like a bath of water or whatever. I just load the crap out of it and I'll soak in there for about 20, 30 minutes. I'll do this really often, and it helps with, leg recovery, muscle recovery when you're lifting, but it really helps with TMJ and neck stiffness and my shoulder pain. So I'll just go, neck in under the water, and I'll just sit there and read a book and let my muscles soak in that warm, hot, soothing Epsom salt bath. And it really does help, as does drinking, but that's another video. Anyway, in closing, I will say this: there is relief, there is help. There are a lot of people that have gone through this before. Don't get discouraged. Keep finding things that help. Keep searching for your cures and your treatments and things that help you. And if you guys have any questions or any ways that I can help or give you some advice for someone that's been through this hell and back, I'm here for you. Drop me a comment or hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. I'm always down to help people out. That's all I got for this video. I hope I brought you some value. I hope I gave you some options and some light at the end of the tunnel. You will get through this. This is not an end all be all. There are cures for this. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.